Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a part 2 of a collaboration video I recently did maybe a couple months ago with Jena Froese. We did the top 2 and bottom 2 of some of our favorite brands. Now I reached out to her and asked her if she would like to do this again, and she said yes. So here we are. If you have not checked out Jena, you definitely need to. Her information will be left down below because I definitely want you to not only check out her video, but check out her channel. She is a sweet soul. I've talked to her a lot on Instagram and things like that. She's just a really good person, and she likes high-end makeup. So if you're into that, definitely go check out her channel. Also, side note, if you are looking for this eye look, I did finally do it for you guys. It was yesterday, so I will link it down below or just check out yesterday's video for this eye look. Now, without further ado, let me go ahead and get into the brands. For these brands, I wanted to go to the last video and look to see what you guys were asking for. So I took a bunch of those brands. I have 10, and I'm going to give you guys the top 2 and the bottom 2. And disclaimer, as always, if you don't agree with me, it's cool. It's just makeup. Let me start off with Cover FX. So I'm going to start off by talking about the top 2 with the brand. Power Play Foundation. I feel like Cover FX really did their homework with this foundation. They came out with great shades and it lasted really nicely on the skin. It wasn't too matte and it also wasn't too dewy. It was just right in between for me. It's a really great foundation. I know I recently decluttered it, but that was only because I have so many foundations and it wasn't one that I was continuously reaching for. But for the brand overall, this is definitely a product I think that they really did well with. The second thing are the blush duos. Now, you have seen me use these a lot. I love these blushes. I have 3 different ones, and definitely my favorite is the Soft Peach Duo, and I have it on right now. I love it. I think I would like the blush more than I do the high, like the shimmer that you can add with it. But the combo together is beautiful. I just happen to have a little bit of texture on my skin. But if you keep the highlighting portion a little bit further back and less up front, then you won't have any issues. I just think these are pigmented, they blend out well, and they last really well on the skin. Now let's get into the bottom 2 for Cover FX. I wanted to like these because when I swatched them, they were really beautiful, but I noticed right away that they were a little bit oily. These are the glitter drops. These, I thought they were oily, and they are. They're glitter. They're 100% definitely for the glitter lover. And I don't necessarily love glitter on my face, but I was hoping that they would kind of dry down some and I would be able to play with them. But they separate makeup. And again, it's just a glitter bomb. So I didn't end up liking these on my skin. They didn't get along very well. And the second item are the shimmer veils. I went through this phase where all I wanted to wear were like the Stila glitter and glow, and then the Stila shimmer and glow. So when these came out, I was like, yes, I've got another brand to play with. But these just really do not have, they don't hold a candle to the Stila ones. I find that these have a harder time layering up. They're kind of chunky on the lid. They don't last as well. They can be flaky. And I just was not impressed. I still have a couple in my drawer. I liked the colors, but they need to work on the formula because they're not so great. One of my personal favorite brands, DIOR. Top 2. Definitely the DIOR Backstage Foundation. This foundation is so beautiful. It's lightweight, but it's got a lot of coverage to it. It doesn't sink into any lines or pores or anything. You have to use so little, and it lasts all day long. I love this. The only thing I would change is that it didn't oxidize. I feel like all DIOR foundations oxidize a little bit. I do mix 2 different shades. I think it's 2W and 2N. I don't remember when, and I don't remember, but I really like this. I haven't been using it during the winter, but I'm definitely going to start picking it back up now that we are moving into the summer months, because I like something that's going to give me coverage, but isn't going to weigh heavy on my skin. And the second one is the Glitz palette. And oh, I forgot to mention that I'm not going to be talking about products that are limited edition unless they are currently available. So I'm not going to be talking about anything in the past, only things that are current, because obviously I would talk about my DIOR Hollow Pink. That beats every highlighter. It's my favorite thing in the entire world, but this is currently available, so I'm going to talk about it. The Glitz palette is so beautiful. I have it on, again, right now. I love the shades in here. The top two shades do have a tiny bit of glitter to them, but that bottom peach shade, oh, I've talked about it so many times. Like, I want a huge pan of that because it's just smooth and beautiful, and the color is unique. It's just stunning. Now let's go on to the bottom two. The first one is the new Forever Glow foundation. I found this to weigh heavy on my skin. It didn't last well. It broke up. I felt like it was so cakey around my nose. I feel like some people this would be really great for. I am a combination skin type, so I need something that kind of works everywhere. It's not going to be too dewy, it's not going to be too heavy, it's not going to be too matte, and so I require a lot of things out of my foundations, and this one just did not really work out for me. And then the second thing is the Pump and Volume mascara. I hate this mascara. I absolutely hate this mascara. It has this little, the bottom part is kind of rubbery, so you can squeeze it. You can adjust the amount of product you get on your brush. If you squeeze it, you're going to have less product. If you don't squeeze it at all, you will have more product, yada yada. But no matter what I did with this, as much as I scraped off, I felt like it was just a clumpy mess. I didn't get anything. I guess I had volume because it was just clumpy. And I am somebody who doesn't really mind a little bit of clump. I have a ton of mascara on right now. I love to just layer and layer and layer and layer, but I don't like it to like make my lashes stick together, or they're really wet and weighed down. And that mascara was an absolute utter fail. Laura Mercier. You guys know that this is my number one product from them, point blank, period. I love this. It is their new foundation, the Flawless Lumiere Radiance Perfecting Foundation. I am already halfway through my second bottle of this. I love it so much because, again, it is absolute perfection. Does not dry out my skin. It gives it that beautiful satin type of finish. It is so pretty, and I have suggested it to so many people. I think that combo skin all the way to dry skin can wear this, and if you prep your skin right, oily could probably wear this, but it's just a fantastic foundation. And then the second thing is their Candle Glow powder. This is something I feel like I need to start reaching for a little bit more often because it is stunning. I love this powder mainly for the buffing technique that I like to do, but it's also really nice for dry skin because it does not have any glitter in there or anything like that. It just has a nice little sheen. So it's a pressed powder, and if you take that and set your makeup, you're going to have a nice natural finish. Do not add too much because that will accentuate texture, but just a little bit will go a long way setting your makeup, and it is so stunning. It's just beautiful. This is actually really nice too if you have slightly lighter skin tone and you use one of the darker powders to use as a bronzer. It's beautiful. Benefit Cosmetics. I feel like you guys should just know. I think you guys should be able to tell me without me telling you what I think are the top two products. First one, without a doubt, my brow setter, the 24-hour brow setter. That thing is like glue. It holds these bad boys up, and nothing works as well. I mean, soap, but I don't feel like doing all that. It has the perfect brush on there to get like the brush like strokes. A lot of times people will ask me, especially if I don't have my brows filled in as much, they're like, are your brows microbladed? Nope. It's just this amazing clear brow setter. Amazing. And then Cookie. The Cookie highlighters. So currently Cookie is in one of their bigger palettes, and then the Cheek Leader Squad bronze palette that I have, but they are coming out with this individually, and I'm so happy about it because it's one of my favorite highlighters of all time. It definitely goes into that category of all time. Cookie is so beautiful, so I can't wait to have a full size of it. Bottom two for this brand might shock you guys because I feel like they are like cult favorites, but not to me. The first one is another mascara. It's the They're Real mascara. I don't like the wand on this. I feel like it actually hurts me a little bit, like right at my lash base, right down here. It hurts my eyes, and I feel like I get nothing but lash separation. Like I get a little bit of definition with it, and it's a little too wet for my liking. It's just not my style of mascara. I prefer something that's not too wet, not too dry. I like defining mascaras. My favorite defining mascara, other than, you know, like MAC Extended Play, is the Balm one, Mad Lash. That one's amazing, but I feel like I can add and add and add, and I get length and a little bit of volume and separation, but this one just does not work for me. And then the second thing is the Professional. I feel like if this product works for you, you don't really have pores. You might have like the slightest little texture to your skin that you probably wouldn't see as soon as you put powder on. And I'm sorry if you have pores and this works for you, but it does not work for me. I have tried it so many times, and it does nothing for these craters. And I know you guys are like, you don't have pores. No, I do. You just have to find the right time where I'm testing out foundation where I'm like, look at my pores, or powder, and I'm, look at my pores. The Professional does not work for me. The next brand is Urban Decay. And the very first item was just like easy. I immediately knew when I was going for this brand what was going to be on the top two. The first one is the Born to Run palette. I don't know how they made this palette so amazing and then are really hit and miss with these other ones, because I think that this is just such a great palette. It's like all in one. You get dramatic, you get in the middle, you get summery, you get fall, you have everything in this palette. You have natural looks, and everything works really nicely. The quality of the packaging is even nice. I just think that this is their best palette. They have the electric palette. It's one of the best palettes that they have ever done. I love this. And then the second thing are their eye pencils, the 24/7 Glide On pencils. I don't use them as much because I love my milk pencils, but they come out with some really unique colors. They actually do last on the top rim. I don't put them on the inner rim so much, but on the top part, they come out with beautiful colors all the time, and they really do last, and they're nice and creamy. Now let's get to the duds. The first one, without a doubt, this is one of the worst products I think I've ever tried in history. It is the Urban Decay, obviously, All Nighter Concealer. This aged me like that. Like, it was so dry. I've never seen a concealer oxidize as much as that one did. I think I did a time lapse like video in my video on that concealer. It aged me so badly. I hated this concealer. The only skin type that I think this is going to work on is somebody who is perfect. And then you don't even need this much coverage. Like, so it's pointless. And then the second thing, this was kind of, I was going in between two different items, but I decided to stick with this. It's the Naked Illuminating Shimmering Powder. So it's for body and face. Now the thing is, it says that it's microfine. No, it is not. It is a glitter bomb. There's no way you could put this on your face unless you just want to use glitter. It would be a stunning eyeshadow, but no, it is so glittery. I remember my best friend she's in Hawaii right now. Her name's BECCA. She asked me about this product. I was like, do not get that. Oh my gosh. She's like, thank you for saving me. I was like, yeah, you would have hated it. I don't really see many people liking this. This is one of those things that they could just pull off the shelf if you ask me. Just get rit of it. It doesn't make any sense. Make it into an eyeshadow. Boom. Oh, now we're getting to the nitty gritty because the next two, these are hard. Pat McGrath. Oh my gosh. Trying to go and figure out like, okay, this is the best and this is the worst was really hard. I knew I had to pick out an eyeshadow palette, and that was easy for me because I feel like when I got this palette in my hands and I used it, it was just so beautiful and unique and everything. And you guys have heard me rave about this. The Mothership 5 Bronze Seduction palette. Oh, it is one of my all-time favorite palettes. It is so beautiful and breathtaking. It's just, I love her palettes in general, but this one, she just blew everything away with this palette. And then the second thing are the Luxe Trance lipsticks. So a lot of people love the matte trance. I prefer the Luxe Trance. I think the Luxe Trance is such a beautiful formula. It's nice on the lips. It's not too shiny to where it's going to move around. It has a lot of pigmentation. It's kind of like a satin type of feel. And Donatella is definitely my favorite color in that formula. Now for the two fails. So the first one are her brushes. And I'm going to use the brush number 3 just as an example. I don't understand how you have a brand that is so high-end, so luxurious, and really well made, and then you have these brushes. They feel a little bit more like a Real Techniques brush, and that's not like a bash towards Real Techniques. It's just like Pat McGrath should not feel like Real Techniques, so I don't like the brushes. And then the next one is the Eye Ecstasy Kit. So this is currently still available. I did review this, and it's not that the quality is bad, it's just that for $49, I feel like you should definitely just go get one of her mini $55 palettes. I didn't particularly like all the colors that she combined into that mini palette. Again, quality was great, but had she changed the colors up a little bit, maybe it would have been a little bit more worth it. Everything in it worked really well. It's just I don't feel that it is worth it. I think that unless you just haven't tried Pat McGrath at all, that it's just not worth the price tag. This next brand gave me some trouble as well. NATASHA DENONA. I kept going back and forth on the top ones. I was like, I don't know what to choose because, okay, first off, I wanted to put like the 228 palettes in there, the original ones, but I think that they aren't made the same anymore. So I don't know for a fact if they are or if they are not, so I want to leave those out because I have the originals and they're amazing. But I have heard that they aren't made either with the same ingredients in the same place, so something is different about them, so I can't confirm or deny, so I'm leaving those out. So the very first thing, the number one palette for me is the gold palette. And I am telling you, it took me some time to figure this out because I love so many. But the gold palette just has some of the most beautiful shades. I remember seeing this and thinking, this looks really repetitive, but you have to get this in your hands and touch these in person to be able to see that there's different textures. The colors are so beautiful on the eyes. I definitely just check out my video on this. They are stunning. And then number 2 is the Tan, Bronze, and Glow palette. This palette, I just think, is so beautiful. It is so pretty. I love the highlight in this. I love the whole thing put together. Like when I got this, I was like, oh, it's going to be so strange not to use a blush because the bronzer in there is a blush and bronzer kind of, you could do whichever with it. So I used it as a blush and bronzer. And it's just so pretty. The whole thing combined on the skin gives you the perfect like J.Lo glow bronze for the summer. It's the best thing ever. NARS Cosmetics. I don't know if you guys know this, but they have recently redone their entire eyeshadow line. So all of their new singles and duos, everything are a brand new formula, and they are killer, killer, you guys. So that is one of my #1 products, and especially I wanted to point out the matte and the hardwired shadows. I just think that they are so good. If you noticed with NARS, if you followed them for a while, you know before like their palettes were a little bit hit or miss, and now their palettes are just really great quality. And so they have put that quality into their singles now, and it's phenomenal. And then definitely Audacious lipsticks. One of my favorite formulas in lipsticks of all the lipstick formulas I have. It's just so beautiful, long lasting. It's not matte, but it's not too shiny. Again, just like the Luxe Trance, but I think this is a thinner formula than the Luxe Trance from Pat McGrath. It's just so comfortable, so vivid, so nice. I love this formula. And then for the bottom two. So I really wanted to put this in the bottom two, and I had to go look and make sure that it was still available. It's currently sold out, I think, on their website, but I was able to find it, I think, at Bloomingdale's and somewhere else. So I was like, I'm talking about it. The Endless Orgasm Palette. This is an all cream palette. It's made for the face, eyes, and lips. Let me tell you, you can't put this on your eyes. It is going to crease no matter what you do. And it moves my foundation. It's too sheer. Like, to try and build these up is crazy. When you swatch them, they look like they have some differences to them, but they on the skin don't really have any differences. Like, I had 2 different colors of their blushers in there, and you couldn't tell that there was any different. I had such a hard time with this. I felt like the formula was kind of, it wasn't greasy, but it wasn't not greasy. It had that slight little hint of greasiness to it. I don't know. It was a little too emollient and not pigmented enough, and just too hard to work with. I didn't like it at all. I hated that palette. And this brush, I don't know how to say this brush, but I see a lot of people loving this, and I hate it. I find it to be itchy, scratchy, and I find it to lose a lot of hairs. Natural hair brushes are going to lose hairs. It's going to happen. But these, it's almost like they break. They become brittle and they break. I don't like the handle. It's weird for me to hold that handle. I don't like the way it feels on my skin. I don't mind sometimes to have, like the MAC 129, whatever. The original MAC 129 had a little bit of scratchiness to it, but it picked up product really well and applied it. This scratchiness, though, to me is like uncomfortable, like you're scratching my face. I don't like it. Initially, it's softer, and then it goes to itchy, scratchy real quick, and it just, the hairs fall out and they also break. I have not liked this brush ever. Now we're going to get into Marc Jacobs. So this one for me was a little hard with the shadows because I didn't know if I wanted to choose the Omega shadows or if I wanted to choose the Iconic palettes, because there's definitely like 1 or 2 that I don't like in the Iconic palettes, but I feel like they're the better deal. So I went with the Iconic palettes, and I want to specifically mention the Editorial and the Stiletto. I know that it's probably cheating a little bit to mention 2 palettes, but I'm kind of lumping that all together as the Editorial palettes are just so, or I'm sorry, Editorial is the color, the green one that I like so much, but the Iconic palettes are just so nice with the exception of 1 or 2. I think that these are amazing. They have great pigmentation. The mattes are beautiful. They are pigmented. They blend out really well, and the metallics are absolutely stunning. And I think it's really cute that the names on the back of them, they make a sentence. I just think that's the little cute touches like that get to me. And then for the second thing in the top 2 is another eyeshadow, kind of. It's the Sequins Glam Glitter eyeshadows. These are stunning. They are so pretty. I love these. You put them on and you just have all the shine and glitter all over the eyes, and they stay in place. They don't crease. They are just absolutely amazing. My favorite color, Topaz Flash. Now for the bottom two. Easily the Shameless foundation. I remember loving this, like putting it on my face and immediately being like, yes, this is amazing. And then like 30 minutes, an hour later, like, what is going on? I don't know. That stuff just slid off my face. It settled into everything. I did not like it. And I tried it so many times because it was so confusing, because I remember putting it on and thinking, oh, this is it. This is the new thing. And I think Allure Beauty gave it an award. And no, it's a terrible foundation, in my opinion. I don't like it at all. And then the second thing is the fine liner. And I'm going to specifically mention Nudist as the color because I haven't tried all of the other ones, so I don't know. But Nudist, oh my goodness, the tip of it breaks. And then I wanted to try this on my inner rim so that I gave people more options for a nude color on the inner rim other than BCC from Milk, which by the way is amazing. Yeah, no, it doesn't last at all in the inner rim. So I was really shocked because I remember the highliner in Blacker on my top inner rim, bottom, it stayed in place, but it would get on my contacts. And this just, it didn't get on my contacts, and it really didn't stay in my waterline either. As we were just talking about Milk makeup, so we already know the top one is going to be their long wear gel liners. These are amazing, specifically Boss and BCC. I wear Boss on my top inner rim just about every day unless I'm changing the color, and it stays in place, doesn't get on my contacts, doesn't bother my eyes, nothing. And then BCC for the lower lash line, waterline, not lash line, it stays and it works so well, and it's brightening. These are so beautiful, and they were recently on the weekly wow at Sephora, and I think some people thought that they were going to be like discontinued. If that happens, I'm gonna freak out, but I don't think so. I think they're back to the normal price now. So I did grab a nice handful of them. A lot of people were tagging me like, Mel, did you see the weekly wow? I was like, yes, I got them, and you need to get them too. They are amazing. And then the second thing is the Milk Blur Primer, Blur Stick Primer. This is something that you either love or you hate. I personally love it. I have it on again today. I think that this is the perfect solution to people that have issues with primers that ball up on them or that are too thick for their pores, but they need to have something that actually works to hide their pores. It is so good. I don't take it direct. Let me see. Got it right here. I don't take it directly onto my skin. I take my finger to the top of it and then I press it into my pores. And this is just, it's so good. I was a little concerned about my Tarte, Timeless Smoothing Primer going away, but I mean, I think this is just as good, so I'm not worried about it anymore. I've been using this again just so that I can get into the transition because the Tarte one has changed formula. I don't even know if I'm going to try the new one, but anyway, I'm blabbering. Let me get on to the next product, and it's the bottom two. The first one is the Luminous Blur Stick, and when I first tried this, I thought I liked it, but then I kept trying it, and I just don't like it. Luminous and Blur is a little hard to do. It can be done, but it's a little hard to do. You cannot put this on your pores without accentuating them. So don't put this on your pores. You can get a little bit of like that filling effect and the radiance on the outskirts of your face, but then it gets kind of covered up anyway. So to me, this is just a product that's, I don't know, you just don't really get a benefit. If you want something to blur, just get the blur or the original blur stick, and then if you want something radiant, take something around the outer edge, like the CC Serum, whatever from by Terry's really good. If the Charlotte Tilbury one works for you, that's great. It doesn't work for me, but this just isn't a primer that I would suggest. And then the next one is the Glitter Glaze Quad. Now I tried this. I never tried it on camera. I tried it and then returned it. It was just one of those, ugh. It has 4 different shades in there, and you're supposed to be able to wear this on top of your makeup, on your eyes, wear it alone, wear no. No, 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 no. It's kind of like the NARS Orgasm Endless Orgasm palette. It's very sheer. It does crease. It's greasy, so you can't wear it with anything underneath it. It doesn't work. And then it's kind of pointless to have because it creases, it's greasy, it doesn't look good. And then on the face, I don't feel like it looks good either. So this was just a failed product all the way around. Oh, and if you put it on your eyes and you have long lashes like I do, my lashes tend to hit right here, especially when I make facial expressions. And yeah, I got mascara all over my eyes from that product. It was not cute. And then the very last brand is YSL. The very first product is the All Hours foundation, not the stick, but the fluid. This foundation I have in 4 different colors, so that as I go from winter to summer and summer to winter, I have any shade I possibly need. This is a long wearing foundation. It is so beautiful on the skin. It is medium to full coverage. I get more of a medium coverage out of it. I'm always using it with a damp sponge, and it's just so beautiful. I love this. And then the second product, I actually wanted to make their souffle d'éclat, whatever powder, because it's so pretty. Now, I didn't know this, and I don't know if it's just out of stock or if it's going away, but I couldn't find it on Nordstrom. It was out of stock on YSL, and I only found it on a few different sites, and they didn't even have all the colors. So I was like, I have a feeling that this is going away. So I picked a second option, and it is the Rouge Volupte Shine Lip and Oil Lipstick. I love this. I got one of the new like limited edition heart and arrow ones just because the packaging was cute. These are stunning. Absolutely stunning. They are very moisturizing on the lips. They feel like almost like a gloss and lipstick. I don't know. They are so nice. This is something that I love to carry around and not have to worry about a liner and things being perfect or anything like that. It's just such a nice, comfortable, beautiful lipstick. Love them. There's a reason why YSL lipsticks are like coveted. They're beautiful. And lastly, my bottom 2. So the first thing is the All Hours concealer. I was really expecting this to be something just wonderful because the foundation was so wonderful, but this underneath my eyes, again, it was thin, but in a like shows all your lines and crepiness kind of way, and I felt like my under eyes looked dry and just dehydrated. I didn't like this concealer. I've tried it several times. I put it down and I try it again. I just don't like it. I don't like this concealer at all. And then the next thing I really don't like, and it's another product that has gotten a little bit of hype, and it's the Blur Primer. This thing breaks me out. Oh my gosh, first time I wore it, I had been broken out everywhere. It makes my makeup slide off my face. I think it's like too silicone-y or something. I don't know. I just do not like it at all. If you want something that is going to blur, I mean, this does do it initially, but it's just longevity-wise, it's not good. And if you are sensitive skin or you're acne prone, this could possibly break you out. I hate this. Every time I hear somebody say how much they love the Blur Primer from YSL, I just like cringe a little bit. I don't like it. But hey, we each have our own preferences. Anywho, that is it. Please make sure that you go check out Jena's video. I will have her information again listed down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I can do a part 3, you guys. I can do a part 3. So if there's more brands that you want to see, top 2, bottom 2, definitely mention that down below. And if you want to see part 1, I'm going to link that video down below as well. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.